For today's workout, we're going to be doing some hip rotation, mostly hip rotation. You will want to have equipment's always optional here. I try to have make it as accessible as possible and just give you as many options and modifications as you need. But I recommend having a couple yoga blocks just for some positional stuff. And then an ankle weight is strongly recommended as well for one of the exercises that will really be using some external resistance, that ankle weight, to try to work to high fatigue or muscular failure. You can get there without it, but you're just going to have to really squeeze your own internal tension if you don't have that external weight. So totally doable without it. Let's see. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump in and kind of get into our first warm-up before getting into our little mini circuit. So we're going to start out with our quadruped hip cars, which is going to be taking our hip through its full rotational range of motion, and I'll do a quick demo. I'm going to be here down on all fours in the quadruped position, and I'm going to bring my hip through its full, well, not totally full, because here I can't quite get as much external rotation as I want, but I'm going to bring my knee up towards the chest, and then I'm going to, once I've maxed out however much the knee can go to the chest without adding in extra spine flexion, so just moving at the hip, knee to chest, then I'll swing it out to the side. From there, I'm going to get some internal rotation, so as if I'm trying to lift that ankle up, internal rotation, and then I'm going to kick back into extension, around and down. Then I'll reverse that, so I'll just kick back, squeezing my butt as I push back. Then I'll bring, once I've maxed that out without adding spine, I'm going to just kick back, bring it out to the side, externally rotate, so coming under, back up and down. So I'll go one more time, knee to chest, swing it out to the side. Internal rotation, so I'm lifting that ankle up, sweeping around. So I'm here, I'm sweeping up and around and down. So I'm essentially making a big circle with my hip, keeping everything else still. We'll do that for 90 seconds, and then I'll show you we'll switch to the other leg, and then I'll show you the next exercise. So, all good, 90 seconds on the clock. You don't have to keep pace with me, just at your own pace, so don't keep looking at the screen. Just focus on what you feel working, what you feel moving, and getting as big a hip circle as you can. 90 seconds, ready, and begin. And if you can't remember all of the kind of small little rotations, just focus on taking that hip through the full, through a full circle. So imagine if you had, this block here, you kind of have to go over and around the block, and then back over and around it. So just kind of taking this knee over and around that block, over and around it. So just think of that if you're having trouble thinking of all of the small rotations, extension, abduction, external, etc. Just think getting your knee around that block, up and around as high as possible. We've got 30 more seconds of work here. Keep squeezing, feeling the muscles that are working. Really trying to isolate the hip, right? We're not using any torso here. Everything else is nice and tight. Pushing the hands into the ground, maybe even grabbing that ground, spreading it apart, driving your balancing knee right into the ground hard. And time will switch sides. Other leg, 90 seconds of hip car on this side. Keeping tension. Camera's killing me. keeping tension as you're working. Just hip only. Everything else is as still, tight as possible. Halfway there. Keep it moving. Constant movement, constant tension, and work through that hip joint. Thirty seconds to go. Hips should be feeling nice and warm. 20 seconds. Last 10. Good. Finish this one that you're on. And tie. Next, we're going to move into a little lumbar spine, so lower back focused cat cows. We know that your normal kind of cat cows are here, right? We go to arch, we go to rounded, arched, and rounded. Two things with this one. I want you to focus on one, low back, and focus on segmentation. And we're going to do that in two ways. One, the first part we're going to focus on is just arching pelvis first, then trying to get it to move into the low back, and then all the way through to that kind of mid back, and then we're just focusing on that low back. So we'll go from that arch, then back to the pelvis, rounding, tucking that tailbone under, kind of squeezing the lower ab area to tuck the pelvis and round. Once that's all rounded, arch pelvis again. And you're just working on trying to feel one vertebrae at a time moving, so we're not just kind of moving the whole back arch around. Segment that spine. The second way we're going to work the lumbar is actually by locking in the T-spine and C-spine. So round all this from here up, keep it rounded, hands behind the head and lock it in. And then we're going to work, just like I showed you, arch the pelvis, arch low back, through that mid back. Once everything's arched, go back down to pelvis, round, tuck under, squeeze that lower ab area, tuck under everything, rounded, and then back to arch. Arch pelvis, low back, through mid back. We're just going to focus low back segmentation for 45 seconds. So lock yourself in, round your upper back. And see, we are good, no comments. Here we go. Round, tuck everything in, 45 seconds on the clock, and begin. At your own pace, so it doesn't have to be fast. Just as much, as slow as you need to go to feel that control, feel that work. So it doesn't matter if you do one during the whole 45 seconds or if you do 5. Just kind of take your time, work that segmentation. You've got 20 seconds to go. 15. Really try to get control of that low back. And don't worry if you're not getting it right away. Just try that intent and time, and we'll also have a second set of that. But just the intent to slowly squeeze. If you're moving more than one segment at a time, that's fine, as long as the intent is there to try to start controlling one vertebrae at a time. Alright, so we're going to go one more time through the hips, 45 seconds, each side, and then one more time of the segmentation car. So here we go, 45 seconds of hip car from quadruped at your own pace. Knee to chest, bring it out to the side, that internal rotation, sweeping up, around and down, and reversing, right? Using glute to squeeze back, sweep it out to the side, externally rotate, up, around, and down. Smooth hip circle. Seconds. Maintain that tension and focus, isolated effort into the hips. Finish this one that you're on. And we'll switch sides, other hip. Here we go. 45 seconds this time. Tension through your hands, pulling the ground apart, driving the other knee, squeezing your core. Everything is still and tight like a statue, just the hip moving. Got 15 seconds, keep it working. 5, 4, 3, finish this one that you're on. And time, drop it down. 45 seconds just of lumbar again. Ready and begin. Keep that upper back and neck rounded, locked in. As you focus on feeling and gaining control in that lumbar spine. In 15 seconds. Keep squeezing, working, trying to gain control in that low back. Last 5 seconds. And time. All right. Hopefully it felt the second set of hip cars, the second set of lumbars felt a little bit different. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but see if any of that lumbar work affected any work for your hips. Low back and hips a little bit warmed up. We're going to move into our circuit. So our first circuit is going to look like this. We're going to be in this position, and we're going to swivel our leg out to internal rotation, and then we're going to swivel our foot in for hip external rotation. And we're going to do 6 of these together. I'll just say squeeze out, and you're pushing out into internal squeeze. And just to keep us all on the same pace, if you reach your end range going out before the end of the time, just keep squeezing, trying to fight for a little more range, and then I'll say squeeze in for external. Same thing, if you reach your end range of internal or external rotation going in here, you just keep squeezing at the end. So we'll do 6 of those. At the end of number 6, we're going to be coming in, finishing that out, and then you're just going to drop that back leg behind. So from here, drop that leg behind. From there, we're going to do a ramping, it's called a Pales isometric. So you're going to be pushing like this against that back leg. So it's not going to move. You don't see anything, but I'm trying to do this. And we'll go 20 seconds of a light effort, 20 seconds of a medium, and then 20 seconds of a strong effort. All right, so we're ramping up. That last 20 seconds, I should be very tired. If I said another 10 seconds, you shouldn't be able to push anymore by that last 20 seconds. Then we'll drop it down to the side. And don't worry, I'll remind you this is where you'll want your ankle weight if you have it. So we'll drop down to the side, throw our ankle weight on, and then we'll just do rotations from here. So sweeping down, just like when we're on that floor position, but now we're up here. Lifting, moving. If you have a block, put it under your head. Squeeze the other one for extra tension, but I'm going to have 90 seconds on the clock. The goal is to be done within 60 to 90 seconds. So if you're done at 60, we'll just get an extra 30 seconds rest. If you make it to 90, try to work a little harder the next time so that you're really finishing between that 60 to 90 seconds. So sweeps, drop the leg down, ramping, 20, 20, 20. Lie down on the side. More capsule cups. So here we go. In our quadruped position. And start squeezing out. Internal rotation. So leg is going out, hip is rotating internally. And the only thing is squeeze out only as far as your femur can rotate. Don't swivel the butt to get further. It's just that femur rotating, not our kind of low back and pelvis shifting over. So squeezing out and squeeze in. Squeeze that underside, inside groin to squeeze it in and squeeze out. Out, 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 out. And in. In. This is 2. Squeeze. Squeeze outside hip. Turn out. And in for 3. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And squeeze out, rotate out, out, out. Squeeze all of this outside hip stuff. Try to sweep out and squeeze in, underside hip stuff. In for 4. Out. Squeeze, keep squeezing. And in for 5. Squeeze underside groin. One more time, squeeze out, outside hip. And bring it in, squeeze, underside groin, squeezing, trying to get that foot, sweep it up. And drop that leg behind. Try to find and feel a stretch through your glute of that front leg. Feel a stretch in there. Once you feel that stretch, you can kind of lean into your butt like that. You can sit back. Just try to find and feel that stretch. Once you've found that, same thing. Push against that leg. Push back against that leg. I'm trying to push this way against this leg. I'm using all of that to push down. And we're ramping now. Kind of a light effort, keeping the effort right in that stretching tissue, but I'm pushing using that tissue. Pushing my ankle right into my thigh. Doesn't matter if your toe is pointed or if it's your foot is bent with your toes on the ground or the top of your foot on the ground. Should be at a medium effort now. Medium effort through that stretching tissue in your butt. We're pushing hard. Medium to strong intensity. And last 20 seconds, strong intensity. Finish it out. Should be getting very tired. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax out of there. Grab your ankle weight if you've got it. Set it on. Lie down on your side. Top leg is the working leg. If you have any other tension objects that you want to grab onto, you can grab onto some tennis balls to squeeze, tennis balls or lacrosse balls to squeeze onto. You can get a pillow. But here we go, 90 seconds on the clock. And just rotations, in and out. So I'm not dropping the thigh up and down. The thigh is staying upright, and I'm just rotating right on this axis. So imagine I have a rod going through my leg, and I'm just twisting right on there. Strong squeezes both ways, trying to reach that fatigue out in that 60 to 90 seconds. We're at 55. If you're struggling, if you're at that fatigue, perfect. That's 60 seconds. You have 30 more seconds if you haven't reached fatigue yet. So failing out any time now within the next 20 seconds is good. Got 15 seconds. If you don't have it yet, squeeze harder and try to finish it off. Legs should be very tired. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Take off that ankle weight. Catch a couple breaths, and we'll switch legs. As we're working, the goal is not to get to 90 seconds. The goal is to fail out within that 60 to 90. So that's where we want to be done at. 90 doesn't equal better than 60. It's just you've gone a little bit longer than the 60. But all within that rep range or that time under tension range will get us the adaptations that we're trying to shoot for. So we're going other leg now. We're going to have our 6 repetitions of capsule car. So not swinging the pelvis, but just arching, squeezing in, rotating out, and rotating in. 6 repetitions. Ready? And rotate out, squeeze all of that outside hip as you rotate that foot out, and sweep in. Squeeze all of this underside hip. And squeeze out. Everything is tight. You're pushing into the ground, maybe even grabbing it, spreading that ground apart, and sweep in. Sweep out, squeeze, and sweep in. That's going to be 3. Squeeze out. Internal rotation. Squeeze out, 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 out. And in. For 4. Rotate out. And in. For 5. Big squeeze. Last one. Rotate out. Squeeze that outside hip. Big squeeze. And squeeze in. For 6, drop that back leg behind. Feel stretch in your glute. And start pushing that leg against your other leg. Start ramping. Using just this tissue. That's why we're starting out light, so you can isolate that tissue and not use your hips or anything else to kind of drive that movement. Isolate it to that tissue that's stretching. Just working in there. As you get used to pushing from that area, let's start ramping it up just a little bit, like you're turning up a volume knob, volume dial, turning it up to that medium effort. Good. Keep ramping. If you feel like you're compensating as you move into this strong effort, keep it medium. So whatever, if you can move up to strong without compensating anywhere else, go to strong. Otherwise, just keep pushing. Keep it isolated right in the tissues that we're targeting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come out of that. Grab your ankle weight. If you don't have an ankle weight, Just squeeze harder, squeeze, try to get more range of motion on each side. Squeeze, hold everything tight, squeeze harder if you don't. So we're just getting more internal tension if you don't have your weight. So here we go. I'm setting nice and tight. 90 seconds on the clock. We're trying to fail within that 60 to 90. If you fail before the 60 because your weight's too heavy, just take the weight off and just keep moving and try to get somewhere between that 60 and 90. Ready? And begin. Upper thigh staying totally still and just that shin rotating right on that axis. My leg is slightly canted here so that I'm lifting up that ankle weight against gravity. So if I was totally straight up and down, the weight is resisting this way, so I'd be using more quad. I'm twisted just a little bit so I can use side hip to rotate that ankle. We're coming up on 60. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep working if you're not quite there. Squeeze harder. Last 20 seconds. Finish it out. If you're not there, you've got 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Shake it out and rest, and I will start demoing and showing you our second circuit number 2. Circuit number 2 is going to be, we're going to be doing some eccentric contractions, so essentially a negative, and then we'll be, let's see, squeezing, okay, got it. So we'll be up here. So whether you're going to start kind of in this almost like a 90-90 position, right? Not a true 90-90, but kind of bent. We're going to be here. Or you can be in pigeon. So whatever's best for you. What we're going to be doing is working this front side glute again. So what I want you to do, whether you're in this bent 90 or more of a pigeon, is taking now this whole thigh and as if you're trying to pull it back against the ground like that. I'm driving this thigh down and back into the ground while feeling that stretch. I'm going to drive it into the ground. I'm pushing as I'm sitting down into that. So the whole time I'm kind of driving this leg against the ground, almost like I'm trying to stop myself or carry my weight from getting pushed. I'm pushing into that ground, and then I'm putting more weight into it, getting as deep into that stretch as I can, and then I'm going to use my hands, bring myself back up. So I'm not doing the concentric portion where I'm squeezing and pushing up. I'm just resisting going down, and then I'm going to use my hands to reset myself. Focus on the eccentric, 6-second eccentric to the bottom, come back up. 6-second eccentric to the bottom, come back up. We have 6 reps of 6 seconds. On number 6, we come all the way down, lock this side in, and then we have this underside or front side hip stuff blocked in, and you're going to try to squeeze and lift that knee up, but obviously I'm stronger here. I'm just doing a 60-second isometric contraction. Squeezing as hard as I can, trying to fatigue out all of this opposite side stuff, right? We're working all this on the front, first exercise, working this side of the hip, excuse me, on the second exercise. So I'm squeezing 60 seconds to that high fatigue. Then I'll go back to the other side. All right, so pick your position, whether it's your pseudo 90 or pigeon, whatever helps you feel that stretch best. I'm using my blocks to kind of help me find that glute. Ready. Drive that leg down into the ground. Front leg driving down using that glute. And we're sitting back for 6, 5. Shift that weight into that side hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be at the bottom. And reset yourself back up. Push that leg into the ground. Sweeping. Try to sweep down and back on that front leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reset. Push down with that front leg. Feel all of that work going into the back side. And start shifting down and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 3. And push down. Push down with that leg and sit your weight back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 4. And even if you're just sitting back, you'll feel the stretch, but I want you to be working it. So really try to pull that front leg into the ground as you're sitting into it. And here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reset. That's 5. Last one. And pull with that front leg as you're sitting back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And sitting down. Put that top hand, block it in on that leg. 60 seconds on the clock. And squeeze up. Big squeeze, using all of this inner groin stuff now. Squeezing, trying to fatigue it out in that 60 seconds. Nothing is moving, you're just squeezing. So it'd be easy for me to just sit here and not work, but I'm really pushing down into that knee. And the knee is really trying to lift. We're halfway there. Adjust your intensity accordingly. You want to be pretty tired out at the end of that 60 seconds. So we got 20 seconds left. 15. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And relax. Switch legs. Other leg forward. Whatever position between your pigeon and that collapsed 90 helps you feel that stretch. Start driving that front side leg into the ground, down and back, and sit into that hip. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reset. Drive that hip. Pull back and down, and sit back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reset for 2. And you may notice this side I'm more in the pigeon than last time, so you can differ from side to side, right? Our muscles aren't totally symmetrical. We're just shooting not for the position, but for the position that allows us to feel and work the tissues the way we want to work them. So drive, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 3. And pull tight. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. And pull that leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reset. Last one. Drive. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sitting all the way down. Block it in. 60 seconds. Ready and begin. Big squeeze. Try to tire it out in that 60 seconds of squeezing all of this inside stuff, trying to lift my knee up. "30 seconds, we're halfway there. Big squeeze. And last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. So to finish it off, we're going to revisit our hip cars from quadruped. So just like we started out, we're going to do 60 seconds one leg, 60 seconds the other leg, followed by 45 seconds of our lumbar segmentation. And then if we have time, it'll be close, but we'll just do another quick set of that. So here we go. Nice and tight. Everything tight. 60 seconds at your own pace. Quadruped hip cars, getting as much rotation as you can. Squeezing, tension, isolating the hip. Trying to feel what's creating that rotation, right? That rotation is the outside hip stuff. And then as you go on the back side, coming under, it's that underside hip stuff that you're squeezing. So you work both sides of the hip. Maybe your hip's tired, but it moves a little smoother, moves a little better through this. Maybe it's just tired. Got 5 seconds. Finish this one that you're on. Switch sides, other leg, 60 seconds. You don't have to turn around like I did, just 60 seconds. Keep it working through that hip. High tension through the rest of the body. Isolating hip work. Got 30 seconds to go. And last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Round C-spine and T-spine. Lumbar segmentation. Pelvis and begin. Pelvis, go back, lumbar, back to pelvis. At your own pace for this 45 seconds. Low back segmentation work. another 30 seconds here just to finish it out. Connect, feel that low back. Last 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. And give yourself a hand. Nice job.